today I'm going to be calling myself out on not reading all the books on my bookshelf. The dogs are obviously annoyed at me as well. So I have about 1,000 books, give or take. I've been collecting books for the past 6 years. I get sent a lot of books, I buy a lot of books, and it ends up accumulating over the course of time. And I am not a robot, so I cannot read books at lightning speed. I used to read about 2 to 3 books a week. Now it is down to maybe 3 to 4 books a month because adulting takes up a lot of time. So that means that I still get books, but I don't read them as fast. So there ends up being a lot of books on my bookshelf that I have not read, that I will get to at some point in my life, but just not at this point. So I decided to kind of call myself out by doing this video and having you guys help me do so. So I asked you on Twitter to give me 2 numbers. One of the numbers 1 through 6 and the other number 1 through 100. So I'm going to be taking those numbers and putting them on my bookshelf and then picking books at random and seeing if I have read them. So this is similar to the what's on my shelf book tag, but a little bit different because I mainly just want to see how many books I actually have not read. And by doing that at random, it should give a pretty interesting ratio. I hope this makes sense, so let's get into it and get started. Okay, so we have my bookshelf. Some of the bookshelves that are in my apartment are my roommates, so not all 14 bookshelves are mine. There are 4 other bookshelves behind the camera that are full of my roommate's books. But for my bookshelves, I have about 6 bookshelves that are my own, so we're going to be going off of 6 bookshelves. And I did the numbers 1 through 100 because I am estimating there are about 100 books on each shelf, I think. I'm very bad at estimating. I was never good at that portion of math class. Okay guys, so let's get into it. The first number we have is 422. Let's go to bookshelf number 4 and book number 22. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh! Guess what? I've read this book. Oh yeah! The first book is called Alienated, and it is an amazing book series if you like the idea of an alien exchange student coming to Earth and going to school with us humans. There's romance, there's political drama, and a hot alien. I love me a good hot alien. Is that a fetish? Probably. I'll partake in it. The next one is bookshelf 6, number 36. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh god. Of course it's this one. Of course it's Lord of Shadows by Cassandra Clare, the book that I'm still in the middle of reading. So I've half read this, and I know everybody's gonna be like, how are you only halfway through it, Sasha? I devoured the book in 2 hours. First of all, if you did finish it in 2 hours, you're a freaking robot and insane, and can I please have your powers? Second of all, I got through half of it, and then I went on a trip, and then I did not bring the book on the trip because it was so hefty and big, and then I just forgot to finish it, and I still will read it before Queen of Air and Darkness comes out, or maybe a little bit after, because I still only read the Harry Potter series. So I mean, it'll get read, it's just not read at the moment. I'm gonna laugh if I get my own book Zenith, because I have a bunch of Zenith copies just scattered throughout this bookshelf. So, and if you guys did not know, the second book in the Zenith duology, Nexus, is up for pre-order, so please go to link in my bio, and please support me and my craft as an author, and give it a buy and give it a read. Next is bookshelf 5 and number 84. I just noticed that I'm gonna have to count up to 84. I mean, I could do it, I just, tedious. Bookshelf 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, number 84. I feel like I'm gonna have to be doing a lot of explaining in this video. So 84 is Angel Fall by Courtney Allison Moulton, and I actually have read up to page, I have it bookmarked, 242, and I started reading this book about 4 years ago, and I never finished it. Not because I did not want to finish it. I think that a more highly anticipated read came out at the same time when I was in the middle of reading this, and I ended up putting this down and picking that book up. It probably was a Cassandra Clare book, so blame her on this, but I have half read this. Oh my gosh, well, this is not that bad. I've read a lot of the books I picked so far, most of them half read, looking semi-decent so far. Next is number 111. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we have Unspoken by Sarah Reese Brennan. I have not read this book, but I remember buying it and my intent on reading it, I just never got around to actually doing it. So this is the first shameful book for this video. Shame, 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 shame. Next is 317. The Kite Runner. Okay, I have read this book, and I read it quite a while ago, but it was phenomenal and eye-opening and fascinating. It's one of the books that helped change my view on the world. Okay, so I feel like I've been going from the top to the bottom a lot in this video, so let's start at the bottom for the next one. 521. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The Dazzling Heights. I've read the first book in the series, but not the second book, which this one is. I don't know if I'll get around to it, but the first one was Pretty Girl. Was pretty good. It's kind of a mixture of Gossip Girl meets futuristic worlds where everybody in a city lives in one building. Next is 2-2. 1-2. 1-2. Outpost. What was that accent? What was that word? I don't even know. Outpost by Anna Greer. I have read this book. I've been doing great in this video so far, I feel like. I've read quite a few books, or half read. I'm kind of impressed. I thought I was gonna totally fail at this. This book was amazing. The first book was phenomenal. It's pretty much about this world with zombies, and it's about this kick-ass female character who is such a baddie, and she fights them and has a wonderful romance that is kind of sprinkled in throughout the series, and you're just rooting for them and their survival. It's so good. 355. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118, 119, 120, 121, 122, 123, 124, 125, 126, 127, 128, 129, 130, 131, 132, but it's been on my list for quite a while. I want to love it at some point in my life. I just don't know when I'll get around to it since it is a 4-book series. But I mean, this 4-book series isn't actually that bad. I don't know why I'm saying it like, oh my gosh, it's a 4-book series. It's so difficult to read 4 books in a series nowadays, because it isn't. Just because duologies are in does not mean that 4 books are out. The next one is 666. Let's go do that. 666. Ugly Love by Colleen Hoover. And guess what? I have read this book. It's a really great novel. I really enjoy Colleen Hoover books. This was the first one I ever read by her. If I can have it right, it's a romance between this girl and a pilot. And I think it's supposed to be made into a movie, but I'm not sure about that anymore. But Nick Bateman will star in it, and he is smoking. Next we have 413. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Oh, hey, look at this. This is How I Found You by Gabriella Lepore. And oh my gosh, do you recognize this girl on the cover? Does she look familiar to you? It's me. Yeah, so I'm actually on Gabriella Lepore's book covers for her Witch series, and it's really cool, and I'm very grateful for the opportunity to be on a book cover. I don't know, it was just like a really cool experience. So I have read this book, I loved it, and it's an honor to be on the cover for the series. Let's do 420. 1, 2, 3, 4. This book that I have here, it's called Future Shock, and I have not read it, so shame on me. Next one is 355. Have I done that one? I don't even know which ones I have done so far or not. No, I have done 355. Let's do 262. Have I done 262? I have not. Let's do 262. 1, 2. And we have a Julia Quinn romance novel. And I love her romance novels, but I have not read this one, which is The Secret Diaries of Miss Miranda Cheever. Miss Miranda Cheever. I feel like we're finally getting the books that I have not read, and it's making me seem less confident because I am less confident now. Okay guys, we're gonna do one more, and let's do a pretty crazy one. We're gonna do 298. Let's start counting, guys. Number 2, and we're gonna start from the down up. 98 is The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. And have I read this book? I have not. But the thing that I love about this book more than anything is it's actually really sweet. My mom actually wrote in the lines of it. You can see that. She took little notes. It's a little piece of my mom. What a nice special note to end on. Don't forget guys to go and pre-order my book Nexus. It's coming out in May of 2019 and pre-orders help so much, so thank you so much for doing it in advance. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter and Instagram. My username is @SashaAlsberg. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!